This presentation is brought to you by Brailleiant at Brailleiant.org, where we are bridging the digital divide for the blind. The following is the second part of a three-part series on how to use the HumanWare BrailleNote Apex for the blind and low vision individuals, presented by Brailleiant. Please visit our website at Brailleiant.org.
Part 2 of BrailleNote Apex tutorial. We will flip the switch to turn it on and cover the software portion. I'm going to flip open the left switch, and I already have it open and I'm ready to flip the switch.
Main menu.
Starting at the main menu, what I'm going to do is for each and every menu item, I will give you the shortcut, because obviously pressing the space bar until finding everything is a pain and a waste, and so I find new beginners users really helpful to know the shortcuts. So I'm going to use the space bar to navigate through these options, through these main menu choices, through the menu, and I will tell you the shortcuts so you don't have to scroll through each and every menu item until you find what you need. You just press the letter on a braille display and you are at that item. So the first time I'm going to press the space bar, we're going to go through these items, starting with the first item, word processor.
Word processor.
The shortcut key for this is the letter W in Braille. And so it basically is a basic word processing application. You can also call it keyword, because that is literally the name of the application. And I'll press the space bar to move to planner, which is P, which if you want to get to it quickly, you can simply press P.
Planner.
Planner. This basically is like your calendar. Nothing short to say of that. I'm going to press space to go to the next one.
Address list.
Address list. The shortcut for this is the letter A. Alright, and then the next one should be email, which is the short key for that is the letter E.
Email.
Alright, Keymail application. This is basically your email client. I can't say it's basic because you have to know how to set up your email. You have to know technical stuff about your email. Like for Gmail, you can't just say it's a Gmail, and then type in your email address and your password and say authenticate and it will go. You can't do that. You have to know your IP address and everything else. So let's go down the list by pressing space again. Internet. This is called KeyWeb. This can get picky as well. Right now, currently, I have it set up so that it only works on my school's Wi-Fi, and we will get into that later. It's very complicated. This software is not exactly the simplest to use. Alright, and pressing space to go to the next item in this menu. Chat, key chat. This is quite useless. I mean, you can't really use it. I mean, it has no use. You have to have some special setup, and it's sorry, but it's just useless. So, we'll press spacebar again to move to the next menu item.
Media Center.
Media Center. In part 1, I mentioned media menu. I said you can customize the recorder in the media menu. If you press M, you'll get to the media menu. Pressing spacebar again. Navigation. Alright, Key Maps. This is the GPS app. And one thing I'm going to show you is the cool sound that it makes when you launch Key Maps. I'm going to press enter here.
Wait. Sendero GPS version 2015. Build 510 Apex. No current license key was found. Do you own a previous version of Sendero GPS? If you use key maps, press N.
Alright, I use key maps, so I'll press N for now. But we're not really going to go into depth. We're going to make sure we get past these prompts, and then I'm going to exit key maps. Either way, I hope you think that sound is cool. I'm going to have to put my phone down because pressing the letter N requires 2 hands. Now, I'm not going to do this because so I'm just going to press space with E is the command to exit or close an application. So I'm going to press that command now. Space with E pressed together.
Exiting list choice. No product key was found.
And if you could hear it, because I had to put my phone down, you heard it say exiting list, exiting choice, exiting key maps, main menu. That basically means I wanted you to respond, but okay, I'm going to exit anyway. So it's basically acknowledging that you want to exit and that it did exit and that it also wanted you to exit. So I've never gotten that prompt before. Usually it asks, do you want to exit key maps? And you have to press Y for yes or N for no. But in this case, it didn't do that. I'll go down.
Internet chat, media, navigation, book reader.
Key books. Letter B. Letter B if you want to get there real quickly. If you have DAISY files or sometimes even PDF files, it'll do. From Bookshare, or let's say you just got PDF file on your flash drive and you imported it with File Manager and then you wanted to use it, open it with Book Reader. You can do that if you don't want to edit it. But then you would have to open it with Keyword if you want to change it. Any file you open, any file like PDF or docx from any source other than the BrailleNote itself will be modified to fit the BrailleNote. For example, docx files get turned into txt files, and so on and so forth. I'm going to press space bar to go to the next.
Scientific calculator.
Key Calc or Key Plus. It's scientific calculator, which means that you don't only do math, you can do science as well. So it has a lot of functions. I can't even cover all of them because I don't even know the math to do them. So I'm simply going to press spacebar to move to the next item.
Database manager.
Keybase, database manager. If you have a very large business, Keybase is if you want to store your databases and create new databases and store information in databases. If you don't know what a database is, you need to find that out. Press the space bar to go to the next menu item. I'll do that. Games. This does not really have a name. That all the menu items in here have key something. Games is essentially a sub menu. If you press into games, press enter into games, you will get a dialog box that allows you to pick a game, and you get a list that allows you to select, and you can play games on your Apex as long as you have a .z4, .z3, or .z5 file, which you can get from sources. Not too many though. As I said, this software can be very picky with their file types and everything else. I'll press spacebar to go to the next menu item.
Extensions X.
If you have any Keysoft extensions, you can get some in HumanWare. The really only options for that is the Oxford Dictionary and Nemeth stuff. If you press enter, you'll get into a separate menu with all the extensions you downloaded. It only comes with Nemeth tutorial, which is basically a Nemeth tutorial. It is such a large Nemeth tutorial that I can't even go through it in one day. I'll press, we're almost done. Let me check.
File Manager.
File Manager, F. If you press F, you get there quickly. You can use it to do your basic file browsing. Inside File Manager, you can press B for browse, or if you want to move a file, you press M. If you want to import it, you have to press T to open a separate menu, and then you can select Import File. Or you can just move the file by pressing M inside the File Manager menu, and we'll get into more detail in another tutorial in the series. I will press the space bar to move to the next menu item.
Utilities.
Utilities is a submenu which we will be covering today, which we will be covering in part 3 of this tutorial. And essentially, this allows you to get into extra software, extra components, extra features, like and you can even power your BrailleNote completely down from this menu. And I will press the space bar to
Terminal for Screen Reader.
Terminal for Screen Reader. Terminal mode allows you to connect to an iPhone or another device of sorts. When you press enter, you pull up a dialog box with 2 options. If you want a USB terminal port, you press U. If you're connecting via Bluetooth, you press B. If you're connecting to an iOS device or a Mac, you're most likely going to choose the Bluetooth option. But if you're choosing a Windows computer, you're going to choose USB option. Press space again.
Keyboard Learn.
Keyboard Learn. If you don't know your BrailleNote, this basically allows you to learn your keyboard. I'll be right back for a continuation of part 2. We haven't completely covered the main menu quite yet.
This has been a presentation by Brailleiant at Brailleiant.org, where we are bridging the digital divide for the blind. If you like this video, please click the like button. And for more interesting videos, please subscribe to our channel.